Hello, welcome back to school. Can you believe it? We're here, we're ready to go. This is going to be fantastic. Um, Hopefully, you have found your place in room 104, that you guys have figured out the seating chart and you're snuggled into your new seat. Some of you are enjoying the couch or the recliners or the coffee shop in the back. And we need to stay in this arrangement for a while just for contact tracing purposes. But as soon as we get the okay to change seats again, we'll give new people a shot at those seats. All right. But these will be your seats anytime that you are in room 104. I really work hard to make my room feel safe, kind of like your home. So I hope you feel comfortable and welcome, that this is a place that you can relax and be yourself. So welcome to room 104. I would never miss the first day of class. But this year, my oldest daughter is moving into college on the same 2 days that you guys are coming back to school. And I actually debated not going to Colorado with her and moving her into her freshman dorm. And Mr. Van Nieuwenhuizen said, Mrs. Patma, you have to go. You don't want to miss something like that. So I'm thankful for his support. So Wednesday and Thursday, I'm moving my daughter into her dorm room at Colorado Christian in Lakewood, Colorado. She's not that far from Mr. Covey, actually. So she's hoping to do some babysitting for them. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So today's activities are going to look a little different than some of my other first day activities. Normally we'd talk about kind of our storyline and some of those things, but we're going to hold off on that. I have an introduction thing that I like to kind of introduce who I am. We're going to hold off on that a little bit, but we have a lot of fun things planned too. The first part of the class period, though, is going to be some housekeeping items. Okay, so housekeeping items on the agenda first. When I am done giving you some instructions, you're going to come over here and grab a textbook, okay? But before I give you a textbook, I want you to pretend that this book, okay, or this book is a $100 bill. So I'm handing each one of you a $100 bill. And I said in May, if you still have that $100 bill in May, you could keep it. Would you hang on to that $100 bill for dear life? Would you take care of it? Would you know where it's at? Of course you would. Well, that's kind of how you have to view your textbook. You'd never stuff a $100 bill underneath the couch and hope it was there the next day, or throw it in front of your locker on the floor because you didn't want to open your locker up, or leave it in the cafeteria during practice because you didn't feel like putting it in your backpack. You would never do any of those things, right? You'd take care of that $100 bill. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but if you don't hand in your textbook that you've been assigned in May, you gotta pay for it. And my guess is your parents will not be too happy about that. I have a couple kids from last year that have to pay for their book because they have not handed it in. So not a good plan. So just take care of it and hand it back in May. Okay. I'm going to hit pause on the video. And when I do, your teacher is going to call you up kind of one by one or in groups or whatever. And you're going to come and take your book. Okay. Just pick a book off the pile. And you're going to tell her the number on the inside cover right here. So I would be book 80. Tell her book 80. She'll record it and write your name in right under the line there, okay? Neatly, first and last name. So take a few minutes to get your books, all right? All right, we're doing good. You have your seat, you have your textbook. Your textbook needs to come to class every single day. So that means you're going to have to make a stop at your locker before coming, but our passing periods are a little longer this year with the block schedule, so you should have plenty of time to go to your locker and get your book. And we're in community, so look around. Does everybody have their book? You might want to say, hey, you forgot your book, go get it, and just kind of help each other out. All right, next exciting item on the housekeeping list is getting into classroom. All right, so if you would, in just a second, not yet, listen to instructions first. If you could take out your Chromebook and get logged in. New students, your login information should be in that front pocket if you don't have your password memorized. But go ahead and get logged into Classroom in a second, okay? And once you're there, you're going to hit, go to Classroom and hit the plus, and you are going to join a class, okay? Once that comes up, you're going to put your class code in here. All the class codes are listed on the board. Listen to me. All letters are lowercase. All letters are lowercase. And if you see a circle, that is a lowercase o, not a 0. Okay? So you're going to put your class code in. And then once you are done with that, you will, And once you are done with that, you can hit join that class. All right. Now you may open up your Chromebooks and join Classroom. Go for it. All right. The next thing I want you to do is I would like you to think for just a second of a time that you worked in a group and things went awesome. You had fun. You got work done. You're proud of the project or the assignment that you completed with your group. Okay, I want you to think about that experience for just a second. A time when group work was awesome. Now I want you to think of a time when working with a partner or working in a group was not good. Okay, it was frustrating. It was annoying. You didn't get good work done. You weren't proud of it. Maybe you had fun, but the actual work didn't turn out. I want you to think of both of those times, okay? You're going to make a list as a class about what makes group work go well and what makes group work not go well. And you're going to make a list on the board, appoint somebody to record the group work positive things and someone to record the group negative things on the board. So you have 2 people at the board writing down everybody's ideas. But I want you to think, what makes a good group work situation and what makes group work hard? Okay, so talk about that as a class and come up with a list. All right. So hit pause on this video for now, come up with that list, and then I have something for you to think about after you see that list. All right. When we talked about our seating arrangement, I said I tried to build my room kind of like a home that you feel comfy and safe. Well, one of the most important things to feel safe is that you feel accepted and noticed by your classmates. So, looking at all the things that you've written on the board about things that make good group work and things that make poor group work, I actually think the most important thing is when every group member values every other group member. When you look at the other group members as somebody valuable that has something to contribute, that is an important part of your group, if everyone sees each other that way, your group is going to work together so well because you're valued, you feel value, and you're giving value. All right? So anytime we work in group work in this class, we go by this phrase: everybody's seen and everybody's heard. So I have you working with a group of 2 or 3, and your teacher knows from the seating chart by the circles who your partner or group is today. Okay, so She will explain that to you in just a little bit. If you're in a group of 2, you can see and hear each other by being just right next to each other. You probably don't have to move your chair, okay? But if you're in a group of 3 and you are straight across from each other, you can't see each other. You can't hear each other in a straight line. One of you is going to have to move your chair across the table of the other 2 and make a triangle so that everybody is seen. So in a little bit, when we get started with this group activity, we're going to make sure that everybody is seen. So anytime you work in a group in my room, make sure you have your body set up in such a way that you can see each other, okay? You want to be away from other groups in a way, so you might slide to one end of the table or the other, but physically get yourself ready to work in a group. Okay, so everybody's seen and everybody's heard. Sometimes, and maybe this has on the board somewhere where a group member of yours was bossy. They wanted their way the whole time, okay? Well, if you're the only one talking, your other group members aren't being heard, okay? Or maybe you've been frustrated before when your group members didn't say a word or they didn't do any of the work. You have to contribute in order to be heard, all right? We're going to play a game in a little bit. And somebody might come up with a great answer that you would have never have thought of, but you have to be open to hearing them. So see your partner as someone valuable that can come up with great information if you would just listen, okay? So some of us have to talk less and listen more. I would be in that category, okay? Anytime I work in the group, I know I got to talk less and listen more. But some of you got to speak up a little bit and give your great answers that you have rolling around in your head. Share those with everyone else, all right? So in a little bit, I'd like you to pause the video and make sure you know who your partner is. And you're going to practice something, and it's going to look a little bit different with COVID. But anytime that we start with someone, and we're going to do this all year, okay? And maybe 8th graders, you remember this from last year a little bit. You're going to look your partner in the eye and say, hey, I'm glad we're working together, or we've got this, or let's do this, and give each other a handshake, okay? And we're not going to do handshakes this year, but you're going to look each other in the eye and say, we got this, or this is going to be fun, or we're going to be great partners, and then give them an elbow bump or a fist bump. All right. So get set up in your groups for this activity. Some of you might need to move away from other groups. Some of you might need to make a triangle. Some of you might need to move away and find a table to write on because everybody needs a table. But we're going to get ourselves set up to do a group activity. All right. We're set up and ready to go. You should have your partner right by you where you can see them and hear them. You've given them a good look in the eye, a fist bump. We've got this. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play the game's categories. If you were in my homeroom last year, first semester, at my Christmas party, we played this game. So maybe this is ringing a bell. All right. But I have customized this categories game with lists that might have to do with being a middle school student. All right, so these are customized lists. This isn't from the board game. One of you is going to be dedicated the dice roller. Okay, your teacher can pick who that person is. This person is going to roll the dice, and I got the letter S. So that means the letter S is the letter for the entire round. So every word that you're going to come up with has to start with the letter S. List 2, the first word is snack food. So what I want to do is come up with a snack food that starts with the letter S. So I might think, oh, Skittles. But that might be something common that other people come up with. Because if somebody else has Skittles, then my answer doesn't count. So I might say, Sour Patch Kids. That's a little bit more unique. Let's write that one down. You and your partner are whispering together. Don't talk too loud because people around you can hear, but you're talking together. I think we should do Sour Patch Kids. Okay. Okay. So then you're both going to write down for number 1, Sour Patch Kids. Then go on to the next one, school supplies. What's something that starts with S, that's school supplies. Okay, again, something that is unique. One thing that you cannot do is use adjectives. So for our snack food, you couldn't say smelly Doritos because smelly is an adjective. So your word is actually Doritos, which starts with a D, so does not work. All right, so you're going to try to accumulate as many points as possible. This is what I'd like you to do. Each group needs just one word list. Have one person handle the word list so that we're not touching and sharing that. So get one word list per group. Have one person handle it. But each of you in your group needs an answer sheet because you'll both be writing down your answer. So one word list, one answer sheet per person. Here's how the round's going to go. Your teacher's going to walk through every category because you might not understand what the category is. So you talk about each category so you know what she's talking about. Okay. Have someone roll the dice. Ooh, the letter is D this round. Okay. Your teacher will start the timer. You'll go and get as many words in that time as you can. When the time is up, each group is going to go and say what they got for number 1. And if no one said Sour Patch Kids, you get to circle it and get a point. And at the bottom, you're going to accumulate how many points you had out of 11. All right? Then you'll go on to list 2. New letter. Do the whole thing again. And then list 3. New letter. Do the whole thing again and see what your group gets out of 33. And see who gets the most accumulated points. All right? Listen to each other, value each other, give each other high fist bumps and high elbows to be really encouraging of each other and have lots and lots of fun. Go to it.